This spawn is still quite popular but mostly used for solo hunts of any vocation. But if you want to hunt with a team, it's doable as well. This is Oramond West. This spawn is located in Oramond to the west side of the city, hence the name. To get there, you most likely will need to run through the minotaurs of the south side of Oramond, all the way east to a teleport over here, and then follow this path to the city. From the city, the easiest and recommended way to get to the spawn is just to levitate down from this building over here. That leads you right into the spawn. But since this is a dynamic spawn that heavily depends on the quarter rate being active, you can also just go around the edge of the city to look around and see if you spot any quarters, since the way to summon the raid is still unknown, so it is most likely random. And for this video, we will cover the spawn with the raid active, and if it is, then the amount of creatures you kill is of 8. But with such a big density, that is still a really good place for charming, because in a bit under 5 hours of hunting you could get 200 charm points. Now, rather than breaking down the lab we use, let's focus on how to hunt here. Basically, even though this is a team hunt, the role of the EK is not needed. What I mean by that is that for the spawn to be as good as possible, the RP should be the one taking the lead in front and holding the aggro from most creatures. He doesn't tank the monsters but rather semi-kite them together with the mages. As for the EK, I was mostly looting monsters and also resing off what I could from the mages, and even from the paladin sometimes, because the EK can still do decent damage as long as the creatures are on him. Another one of my roles as the knight was to kill the creatures left behind, so basically my role was to switch with the paladin for the most part. For that reason, if possible, the RP should be 150, so that he can use diamond arrows and do more damage, but the rest of the body can be lower than that, ideally over level 130 for the better potions. The best part of the lab is that we didn't overkill it, which was a concern we had beforehand. We didn't even need to go through the outskirts of the city to add pools from there. Just a back and forth of the plains was enough, doing this pool in the middle twice per lap. Hunting like this we were doing over 1.3kk raw, however I'm pretty sure the experience should be closer to the 1.5kk raw. My reasoning is that we were already doing around that much experience as a treatment, and when we added the druid we were hoping to push it higher. However, the random guy we found wasn't very good. Sorry if that sounds mean, but the numbers don't lie. An EK, especially how I was playing this hunt, should not be beating the druid in damage, especially on a spawn with such density of creatures. So, as a tip for any of you playing a mage on this scenario, focus on your attack turns. Normally, on spawns with this many creatures, it's almost always easier and better to just use runes. Trying to land spells often ruins up your attack turns, and in some cases you do less damage doing so. Obviously, a sorcerer has more room to alternate spells than a druid in this spawn, for example, but something that is almost a must do for this scenario is to have your runes to shoot on crosshair. That way you can focus where the majority of creatures are, instead of having it on target and then likely missing hits on more creatures. Additionally, since some creatures do paralyze here, it gets counterproductive to run non-stop. Try to get down the timing of your movement even on paralyzed to guarantee your runes hitting, and then continue running. It sounds simple, but it's a very common mistake shooters do when hunting a fast-paced hunt like this, with lots of creatures on the screen all the time. Lastly, the spawn is going to be waste for everyone. Even though I was trying to loot as much as I could, I was getting around 150k the hour, which is barely enough to cover supplies of one person. So keep that in mind. This is an alternative spawn, good for crowded service and really good for doing charms. That's all I got for this one. Thank you for watching, and a special thanks to Tuna Hero, Night Star and Turtle Slasher.